What's up, guys? I'm here at Trey Flowers. We got a conversation centered around athletes, just kind of giving them game, giving them insight, advice on just what they may deal with, and also, being vulnerable today, opening it up to people who may not be athletes, and just allowing them to understand, what an athlete may go through. So today with us, we got a guy who I played a couple years with in New England, a good friend of mine, Jabaal Sheard. He got 11 years experience in the NFL, so he's coming with a lot of game. And of course, we got the owner of company team, Jared Green, and also co-owner partner, Taneris Wright. So, like I said, we're gonna come with a lot of experience and just kind of sharing some insight. So, got a few questions, a few topic of discussion. The first one is an athlete's identity. In today's world, you see a lot of athletes struggling with their identity. Like, who are they outside of this game? So, just the first question, how, from your perspective, how do you see athletes struggling with their identity? So.
Trey, you know me too well. Yeah. It's Tank Wright. T-A-N-K.
My bad. I took it formal. My bad.
Taneris Wright, but man, I see identity theft taken away from some of these kids all the time. Yeah. So I'm former athlete, current coach. I oversee a strength and conditioning program in the Big Ten, and now it's probably about 11 years in the profession of working with athletes, and I see some dudes, man, without the jersey and have no clue who they really are. Yeah. I see guys walk around with the mentality of I am the logo. Yeah. So, man, I see it all the time. And how can it change? It's a question everybody's trying to answer, which is why we created this company, right, team. And I can't wait to hear from everybody's answers. But for me, it's a process. It's teaching the how, not so much of what they can do, but how they can restore that identity. For me personally, once I left college ball and had to figure out what I wanted to do, personally, my experience came down to how can I continue to stay around the game. And I was lucky enough to stay around with strength and conditioning, which I got a passion for in the weight room. But Trey, it's identity theft sometimes. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. We all know it. Yeah. I'm the guy in the helmet hitting you around. I'm not the guy that's giving you information or trying to teach you how to do something in life. Yeah. So, man, I can't wait to hear from you all. Yeah. I can't wait to hear what everybody got to say as far as their answers. So, kind of didn't answer your question, but I did, big dog. No, I see it all the time. Yeah. I'm just saying.
No, you right there with it. You in it, like you said. You around it all the time. You still in the game. I think you got a lot of knowledge that way. So, like I know Jay Green, he coming with some knowledge too with it. Just understanding, like you around kids, you around, you got a coaching thing going on. I'll let you go into that, but. Go ahead.
Yeah, that identity piece is big. The main thing I try to focus on when I'm working with students and athletes now is just focusing on who they are and understanding the game is something they can do, but it's not who they are as a whole. And so it's very easy, I can see from perspective of how you could take on your sport as your identity. It takes so much sacrifice, perseverance, and being so intentional and focused to accomplish a goal that you can get so consumed with it. And there's also where your accolades and things come from. And so if they're not coming from another area, I can definitely see how you can take it on as your identity. But it is important for, like what Tank said, when you are finished, because the truth of it is one day it will end, and then you kind of stuck with yourself. And so I would say the identity piece is huge. With the emerging NIL and other things, and attention, and just environment, you can definitely get lost. But so my advice to athletes: just try to figure out like your morals, your values, who you stand for, and what you stand for, and how you want to be seen and represented, and starting there, as in creating and helping with their identity.
Well, so like you say, man, a lot of athletes we don't think when you in it, you don't think it's gonna end. Like, man, I'll do this forever, So, but like you say, unfortunately, You know, that's not how it worked. Father Time is undefeated. So, you know, and speaking of, like I said, my guy, he 11 years in, he been retired. How many years?
I don't lose number, man. Like
Okay.
3, 4.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
3, 4.
Yeah. So
something like that.
he you know all about, you know, after sports, you know, going through that, and I'm just, you know, just from your perspective, asking you if you got a story or whatever. You know, how did you handle that, or how, you know, how do you think that? Did you have identity theft, identity crisis, and how did you navigate through that transition?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everybody up here, man. We spend so much time in football, you know what I mean? Like, we passionate about it. Like, we all got this goal we want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So I'm putting everything towards that. Like, I want to achieve this. I want to be the best. I want to play professional. So that's all we kind of knew. I kind of knew, you know what I mean? In my head, like, this is what I'm putting my all into.
Yeah.
So, like, that is my identity, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whether sometimes, you know, we big as hell, so walking around sometimes, and they're like, yo, you play football?
Yeah.
I was always like, nah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I knew that's not what I wanted to be identified as, you know what I mean? But truthfully, we done put so much time and effort in it, like that's my identity, you know what I mean, at the time. So I think, like, during the game, you know what I mean? Like, that truthfully, that is our identity. We got to be consumed by it. You got to want it, you know what I mean? To want to be great, you got to kind of be consumed in it. You know what I mean? On those off days where we go do community service and things like that, I think, like, for me, that was always, like, me putting aside my identity and being, like, someone else, you know what I mean, who's truthfully in me with a heart. I think today's world, it's a little easier for guys to find their identity outside of football with social media and things like that, you know what I mean, because they want to see their personality, you know what I mean. Before, we ain't really have social media, you know what I mean, it was just you in this box. So they want to show this personality and what they got going on. And also for me, like, once I retired, you know what I mean, it took a year or two, like, you know what I mean, like, I was that football player, I was that guy, and sometimes being on the outside world, you kind of forget, you know what I mean, like, you was that dude, you know what I mean, you was on that field, like, nobody was messing with you, you know what I mean, and I think it took for me, right after I retired, I went to the PAC program, and the speaker that was just reminding us, you know what I mean, y'all still that dude, you know what I mean, you still got that thing in you. But like you said earlier, you just got to find out what that next passion is. You know what I mean? What drives you every day. So I think, you know, it's going to be a battle. You're always trying to figure out what's next. Even people that aren't athletes, you know what I mean? Like retired teachers, they're nervous. I still go back to my school and I coach, and I had one of my favorite teachers retire, and she's about to retire, and she's like, I'm nervous. And I'm thinking like, damn, she like 58, 60. Like,
how you
you've been waiting for this, you know? And she's like, I'm nervous. I don't know what's
You don't
next.
know what to do,
A lot of time on your hands, you know what I mean? And you struggle, but you still got family, you still got friends, you know what I mean? Being here right now, like you said, the locker room environment, kind of staying attached to that, you know what I mean? It reminds you that you was that dude, or you are still that dude. You know what I mean? You ain't lose nothing. You just got to find another passion and grow on that.
I was over at a conference just a few days ago, man. They was talking about it, and it was a few former athletes. You know, it's a piece where athletes, they are comfortable in playing the game. So, but outside the game, like y'all say, I don't know who I am, and then they think that you not that guy, like you said, you know. But having that sense of awareness, or just talking to yourself, you still that guy. You just gotta figure out, put that same energy you done put all them years, hard work, grinding that you put in the game, man, you put into something else, and you know, your life can change as well. So even when I do come into a room, because I was in the room, I had no business being in that room, right? I know, because just the knowledge about finance and things like that, it was a business conference. Sometimes you may have a sense they only want to talk to me because I perform well on the field. And so, or I represent, or I played for the Patriots, or I played this, or I played, you know, so, and you gotta have that, it'd be kind of a self-battle, you know, whether do I belong, or do they only listen to me because I play at their favorite team or something. So, you know, it was definitely a battle. You know, I had to go and do meditation, things like that throughout the conference, and just, you know, like you say, had that self-talk that, man, I do belong here. Like I got knowledge. I, you know, graduated econ, got a little business knowledge on me. So, you know, I still had to learn. So I had to be vulnerable enough to learn, but I do belong here.